Hello everyone, welcome back to Samoyed Studios. Today we're going to be making an adorable orange crochet hat for dogs. Our two models look so adorable and stylish, so grab your crochet hooks and let's get started. I'm sure your dog models will look amazing as well. So here's the general pattern for the orange hat. Please pause the video if you would like to take a closer look. Depending on the size of your dog's head, you may need to reduce or increase the amount of rows in between row 3 and row 5. In between each row, I made sure to check to see if it fit Elsa. If your dog's head is smaller, I would stop at an earlier row of that increasing double crochet pattern. If your dog's head is larger, I would add additional rows, and to do that, you would just increase the double crochet in between that pattern. To get started with your first row, make a magic ring and then you're going to chain 2. Then add 12 double crochets into the ring. Repeat the process until you reach your last stitch, and then you're going to pull on the end of that excess string to close the circle. Add a slip stitch to connect the ends together, and then you have a circle like so. For the second row, you're going to chain 2, then you're going to add increases on each stitch. What that means is you're adding 2 double crochets to each stitch. Therefore, you're going to double the total stitch count from 12 to 24. After you reach the end, you're going to slip stitch the ends together like before. Now for the next row, you're going to chain 2, and in between your increase, you're going to add a double crochet. Start by adding a double crochet in your next stitch, then in the following stitch, you're going to add 2 double crochets, so the increase, and then you're repeating this process throughout until you reach a total of 36 stitches. Also, I wanted to say hi, so here's a quick playtime break. So again, this process is to expand the circle, and if your dog's circumference is smaller, you would stop at an earlier row. But Elsa is a medium to large dog, so I did have to expand it to 60 stitches total. When you reach the last stitch, make sure you slip stitch the ends together. You're going to chain 2. And then now for row 4, you're going to add 2 double crochets and then increase. As you can see, the base of the hat is pretty simple as you're continuing this double crochet increasing alternating pattern. You're just adding an extra double crochet in between each increase. The purpose of this alternating pattern, again, is to increase the diameter of the circle and to make sure that it's fitting your dog's circumference of the head properly. For my 5th row, I repeated that process. I chained 2 and then I added 3 double crochets in between each increase. So 2, 3, and then as you can see in the next one, I'm adding 2. 1, 2. Repeat that pattern until you reach your last stitch. When you reach your last stitch, you're going to then slip stitch the ends together like before. When you're working on the increasing rows, be sure to periodically check to see if the size is good for your dog. And again, you will need to make some adjustments based on your dog's needs. For Elsa, she just needed 60 stitches, so I stopped the increasing rows at row 5. Now for the next row after you have your circle, you're just going to chain 2 and double crochet in each stitch. So for me, I have 60 in total, so I would have 60 double crochets. When you reach your last stitch, similar to before, again just slip stitch the ends and then you have the formation of your hat. For my row 7, I created the ear hole, so I chained 2 and I made 20 double crochets. To make the ear slit for Elsa's ears, I started by chaining 10 when I reached my 20th double crochet. And then I made sure to count 10 of those stitches in between what I made. And then I double crocheted into the next stitch. Afterwards, you're going to add 19 more double crochets, so you would have 20 double crochets in between the first ear slit and the next ear slit. When you reach the next 20th double crochet, you're going to do that same process of chaining 10. Then you will count to skip 10 stitches, and when you reach that stitch, you're going to double crochet into the next stitch, and that will reach you to the end of the row. So you're going to slip stitch the ends together. Yay! And as you can see, you created the ear slits on the side. To add a bit more structure, I chained 2 and then I double crocheted into all 60 stitches. When you reach the ear slit area, you're going to add 10 double crochets into that loop or the slit. And this one will require you to count because again, you're not adding it into the specific stitch, it's to the slit. When you have finished, just adjust it a bit so it reaches the end of the slit, and then you're going to continue on with your double crochets. Here is that process again of adding 10 double crochets into the ear slit. When you finish your last stitch, you're going to slip stitch the ends together. For the next row, I wanted to create a ruffle pattern. If you want it more structured, you would just continue with a single double crochet in each, but because I wanted to add ruffles, I added 2 double crochets in each stitch, or increasing in each stitch until I reach 120 stitches total. When you reach the ends, you're going to slip stitch it together, and you can see the formation of the ruffles here. I wanted it a little more exaggerated, so I added a second row of ruffles as well. So I chained 2, and then I added a double crochet, then I increased. I repeated this process until I reached 180 stitches. When you make your final slip stitch, you are finally finished with the hat. Hooray! Close it off, and then you're just going to clean up the ends with the excess string, but doesn't it look cute? So to make it even better, you're going to add your leaf accessories, and I made 2 of these. So I first started with a slip knot, and then I chained 10. I added a single crochet in the second stitch. Then I added a half double crochet. Then I added 5 double crochets. And then I added a half double crochet. And then I added a single crochet. This is to build that shape of the leaf. So I turned it to the other side of the chain, and then I repeated that process. So you're starting with a half double crochet, adding 5 double crochets, then a half double crochet and a single crochet, and then I slip stitch the ends. To make sure it stays on Elsa, I wanted to add ties. So I used brown yarn to mimic the branches, and I started with the slip knot through, and then I added 50 chains. When you assemble everything together, you're going to have something adorable like this. And for some reason, Elsa actually tolerated this hat a lot longer than she has with some of the other things I've made her. So I think she enjoyed being a little bit of a vitamin C energizer in our lives. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you create something adorable for your pet as well. And please catch us on our next video.